Hey there folks, welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at the DC Multiverse Mcfarlane Toys The Flash Batman. This is the newer release, so we're going to take a quick look at this guy because I picked him up to do some modifications to him. So I will admit this is going to be a little bit of a lazier video. I have a whole lot of other figures that I need to do proper videos on that are actually customs, stuff that I really want to show. This guy's not as much of a priority, so I'm going to leave his accessories in the base, or in the box. And obviously you can see my cats over here. I've recorded this intro several times already. My cats have been off the wall lately, annoying, so I apologize for that. You can hear the other one in the background. But yeah, so here's the intro. Got ourselves a little lazy Susan, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, we're going to take a look at just the figure itself. I don't really care to take the little trigger figure hands out or anything like that. And I don't really want to damage the box to the point where I have to take the card out or the base out or anything. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Guys, so here's the figure, nice and personal. This is Mcfarlane's attempt to fix what they got wrong with the previous figure. And, you know, it's a nice thought, but it's still largely inaccurate. They got the colors a little bit more accurate, but that's still far from accurate. They got the gray bodysuit this time with the armor on top, which is what they did before, but now it's a lighter gray when it should be more of a gunmetal. And they got the blue on there, so that's kind of the selling point for this guy. So, you know, at face value, he's a little bit more accurate this time around, so that's cool. And then they still have this ridiculous head, which baffles me because they just announced their new BVS wave that has an armored Batman that looks pretty close to Ben Affleck's likeness. But regardless, you have the nice straps painted on here. It still has nice detail, or nice paintwork for what it is. It's just not largely that accurate. You know, got a nice fabric cape on there. I don't think that was the case the first time around, but I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure the fabric cape started more recently. So yeah, I don't remember exactly what the cape looked like that came with the guy originally. But yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and just take a closer look at the figure, and then we'll do some size comparisons. So let's go. Alrighty folks, so here you can see it is nice, and it's pretty nicely painted for the most part. You know, got the black symbol outline with a nice matte black, which is cool. The belt's obviously painted a more traditional color, only the surface of it though, unfortunately, it's not a separate piece. The straps around with the blue, and then the black straps around there, which is pretty cool. But I mean, this is still just, it's not what I would like to see in terms of paintwork. You got the knee pads and the shin pads there, and these ankles are absolutely awful. I can't get him to stand very well at all. The cape is not a very big cape. You can't really do anything with it compared to some of the other ones that we've been seeing. It just kind of sits there, but that's okay because I have a fabric that I actually think would look really good with this guy once it's all said and done. But yeah, there you can see that head. Yeah, not great. It's a cool Batman head in general, though. I actually did want to mention something. If you guys do have the... I'm forgetting what it's called now. The Fonjoy BVS Batman. This head doesn't work with a lot of figures. Especially with the Mcfarlanes, because all of them are kind of, the BVS ones are kind of slender compared to this. But this one actually I do think looks pretty good. I think that actually works. It's not perfect, but I think that looks pretty cool. It works, it actually is, you know, passable. Whereas with the BVS figure, it doesn't work at all. And it actually pops on there. It's a little wobbly, but it's actually stuck on there. So that's pretty cool. I do like that. You can see that from a distance right there. It's a little bit big, but I feel like overall it's not bad. So if you don't have an option where you can get a more accurate head on there, and you happen to have the Fonjoy, this does work as an alternative. So just keep that in mind. But yeah. But this dude doesn't really have a whole lot to offer. He doesn't, I mean, he comes with a pair of trigger finger hands. I don't know if that's the exact same setup that the original figure came with. You can see there's some nice kind of you know, the eyes are nicely painted for what they are, I guess. There's just not a whole lot going on, you know. There could be a wash. Literally just a wash would bring out so much detail, but there could be a wash. They could have attempted to do the gunmetal. The blue could be darker. There's just a lot of different things here that are missing. But, you know. And even though this color scheme is technically more accurate than the previous version, I think a lot of people are going to gravitate towards the first one anyway, just because it's a more... it just fits in with everything else so much better because they went so wacky with this color scheme. It just doesn't, it's just too bright. But I don't know, I haven't watched any reviews on it, so I could be wrong on that. Alright, so as far as the articulation goes, we have a double ball joint in the head, so that allows us to look up this far, look down this far. You get the full rotation, get a little pivot in there. Actually, that's not a little pivot, that's a lot of pivot, so that's pretty nice. Get your basic setup for Mcfarlane figures that allows you, the little ball joint in there allows you to raise the arms up this far. If you pop that plastic piece out, you could probably get a little bit more out of that in every direction, so keep that in mind. You get some rotation here. Of course, you get the shifting because it's a ball joint. Bicep swivel. It's a little bit, I wouldn't push it too hard on the outside, but you know, that's not really any reason to do that. Double jointed elbows. Doesn't look the greatest. It's kind of par for the course at this point, but ball joint for the wrist, so you can get that in sort of any configuration that you'd like. With the waist and diaphragm combined, you can look back this far, so that's not bad at all. The crunching forward is pretty limited though. I mean, if anything, that's just a little bit of a little brooding action. It's not even really crunched forward. Obviously, there's only so much you can do with this piece here, but I would imagine because with this version, they put instead of the belt being attached to the diaper like normally, they had the belt attached to the midsection, so I think that's really what gets in the way, because you already have this piece here. You get a little rotation at the top, you get the rest of it all the way around on the waist, you get a little tilting, so that's cool. Your hips don't really go out that far, and they don't really go forward at all. They almost go back they almost go forward just a little bit more than back. Actual thigh cuts, that's pretty rare. Double jointed knees, looks okay for the most part. And these ankles are just awful. They're the normal ankles, but they go straight down, so there's like no ankle pivot at all. You can't really get any new inside of these ankles because of the ratchet. It's really hard to stand them. I can't tilt my ankles in at all, so like it's just stuck in that angle. Toe joint works well enough, so that's cool. But yeah, I don't know. Let's go ahead and take a look at the size comparisons real quick. This is just going to be customs that I'm showing, because I think the only Mcfarlane figure that I have that's stock is the one that I'm holding right now. So look at a couple of customs. So the first two are going to be some that aren't done yet. Here's my BVS Ben Affleck Batman and my Christian Bale Batman. This has got a complete repaint, and I switched out the cape. Still working on the head. This guy's got some proportion adjustments, and he's got new shoulders. So yeah, there's that. And of course, Christian Bale is the tallest because that's accurate. I don't know what they're doing, but yeah, I don't know. I did say earlier that this dude's slimmer than this one. And now that I'm seeing them there, that's not really the case. So I'm not sure why. I don't know why this looks better on that one than it does on this one. I don't think you can get that on there. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think it's probably not that bad. I think, you know, this guy, he's got like more bulbous shoulders and stuff like that. Like overall, he looks wider front on. But I think because all this is so chunky right here that it kind of just helps it maybe. I don't know. Now that I'm seeing this on here, I don't think that's too bad. It's obviously out of proportion, but I don't think that's too bad. I might use that for now. I don't know. So I might have had my foot in my mouth earlier. I don't know. That actually doesn't look too bad. I do think it looks good on here too, though. Maybe I never actually tried it. All right, anyway. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. But the last two, my custom, he's a little bit dusty. Forgive that. My custom Mcfarlane Pattinson and Mcfarlane Keaton Batman. These guys have had some major modifications done to them. This dude has several parts from the Bendifigs figure, the belt, the chest plate, the cape, the boots. I'm going to do a full video on this guy. He's got the gun holster on him, or the sticky bomb gun. I want to get a new head for him, but he's been completely repainted. The proportions have been completely adjusted. The hands are shortened. The torso and just the whole chest has been completely reworked. I'm very excited to do a video on this guy to tell you guys all about the stuff I did to him. He's very, very cool. And again, he's a little bit dusty, but I think it works for this guy. Here's the Mcfarlane 89 Batman. He's got I did some cool things to him. I repainted him, and I kind of tried to do this paint job where I added some texture to it. He's a little bit too shiny, but I still like it. I'm technically not done with him, I suppose, but as you can see, he's got some of the extra Mezco parts. So that's why his cape's like this, because his cape would be just a little bit too short if it was sitting down. So he's got the wind cape action going, and I added some magnets to the head, so that allows that to hold in there. So yeah, video coming for this guy. Stay tuned. So that I'm not gonna talk about any of my customs anymore yet. Gotta save those for the videos. But overall, my thoughts on this guy, I think it's okay. I'm starting to lose my voice here. I think he's okay. He's a little bit more accurate than the previous version in a sense, but do I think it's worth, if you already have the other one, do I think it's worth getting this one? If you get rid of the other one, sure. But as a figure by itself, I don't think it's that great. I think it's got poor articulation, and it's really just not as accurate as it should be based off what it's supposed to be. I recommend it for myself and for other customizers if you plan on doing something really cool with it. That's why I bought it. I wanted to work on it to make it more accurate. That's why I buy things. So it's hard for me to be a little bit more objective because I buy things with a specific purpose to work on them. I had no interest in getting the Hong Kong version of this other than I wanted to make the Mcfarlane one look better. And also I think this head's kind of cool even though it's kind of cartoony. And like, I had no business getting this figure because I had the Mezco and I'm really happy with the Mezco. Other than the fact that I wanted the Batmobile, but I could have got the Batmobile loose on eBay. But I got this figure because I thought it could make it cooler. So that's why I buy things. I get them to work on stuff. So as a figure by itself, I don't think this is that great. And if anything, I think he stands out too much on the shelf compared to your other figures. I think the other one, even though it's less accurate in a sense, it fits in more tonally as a like an overall tone. I think it meshes better with the other ones. And I just don't think it's super great. I think it has potential, but I don't know. All right, we're kind of just going in circles right now. But yeah, if you plan on customizing him, definitely get him. If not, I would recommend the other one if you wanted to get him. If you wanted to get either one. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm starting to not be able to breathe and talk and all that, and I already can't talk to begin with, so I think it's time to end this video here. If you guys liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell. All that would be greatly appreciated if you decide to do so. And again, stay tuned for these guys. This guy's kind of got a Halloween theme in terms of his film, so I might do him next. But stay tuned for the custom videos. They're coming soon, I promise. I got a lot of stuff coming, a lot of stuff that I'm working on, so stay tuned. Guys, I don't know. Until next time, true believers.